Hello YouTube, what's going on? Shaney 2K here with episode 3 of the Shaney Show. If you haven't yet, leave a like, subscribe, comment. Question of the day: what's your favorite type of flower? Has nothing to do with sports, just comment it. Last week's episode didn't do too well, which, you know what, I'm fine with, because this is my dream, this is just what I want to do, so it's whatever. Before we get started, of course, I have another channel called Warmer Banter. I love you guys. Go check out. It's doing well so far. But this was recorded on Thursday, uploaded on a Friday, just like the first two, presented by yours truly. And we have a couple topics to get into today. So the first one is the obvious one, the NBA bubble week 1. The NBA bubble has been incredible so far. And it has filled that gap that we absolutely needed in sports. And there's a lot of surprises. Like the Bucks aren't doing so hot. The Lakers, we'll talk about them in a little bit. But then there's teams like the Suns, who we'll also get into. There's a lot of shocking teams who are doing very well because of the NBA bubble and the entire hiatus and all that. And I have never been more excited watching basketball because I missed it so much. It's like you go on a diet for 3 months, like an intense keto diet, and then you eat a big chocolate cake. That's how it feels watching the NBA return. It's been beautiful so far. There's been a lot of protests. There's been some injuries that suck, which I wasn't even going to get into it, but, we'll talk about it. The Jonathan Isaac injury, tore his left ACL. That sucks. Right after he protested, but I thought the protest was a beautiful idea. But, prayers out to Jonathan Isaac. Prayers out to Ben Simmons. He dislocated his kneecap. Just wanted to get those two out of the way really quick. Prayers out to both of them. Speedy recovery, both of you. And, the NBA bubble has just been incredible so far. All of us have had a lot of fun watching it. I know that. A lot of close games, and it's really surprising me. I mean, besides the Nets versus Celtics. Jesus Christ. That was bad. That was really bad. But, been a lot of close games, been a lot of overtime games, been a lot of shocking games, been a lot of game winners. That's not true. Just a game winner, Devin Booker. We're going to get into that as well. But, the NBA bubble's been incredible, and I think all of us have enjoyed it. I surely have. And, there's a lot of shocks that I can easily say. No one was ready for the Suns to be undefeated in the bubble, who we're going to talk about later. The Blazers to be good. The Wizards, who we're going to talk about. Oh, my gosh. But, that's it for the NBA bubble. It's been incredible so far, but we're only in week 1. And, But next up, we have the Sabrina Ionesco injury. It's kind of odd. We talked about her last week, how incredible she'd been in her first 3 starts in the WNBA. And now, in her 3rd game, she got injured, and she's going to be out for a month. I can't quite remember what the injury is off the top of my head. I think it's her left ankle or something around there. But out for a month already after playing 3 games. I'm hoping this isn't anything that's going to, stay with her in her career. That would really suck. I like Sabrina. I don't watch the WNBA too much, but this sucks. I mean, she was one of the bright spots in that WNBA bubble. Definitely not Victoria Vivian's, because she hasn't answered my phone calls. You were supposed to interview me. You just ditched. I'm kidding. That was totally just me calling Victoria Vivian's out. I'm sorry. But... that was messed up. I'll get into that, actually. But Sabrina Ionesco injury, thoughts and prayers out to her. Speedy recovery. I hope this isn't a sign of things to come. Really hope Sabrina can play for, years to come. I hope she's not a bust. She's one of the best athletes in all of basketball, college basketball all time. Not just men or women's, just both. She's been incredible. She was great for Oregon. She's been great the first 3 games for the WNBA team, New York Liberty. But, the Liberty aren't looking too hot. Probably going to tank this season. Probably going to get another high draft pick and just start building a super team. But, thoughts and prayers out to Sabrina Ionesco. That really sucks. I'm sorry, Sabrina. I doubt you're watching this. You're not watching this, so I'm not going to give you a message. The Victoria Vivians thing I was just talking about. So me and Victoria Vivians were talking. I was supposed to get an interview from her because she agreed to it, and then she kind of just blew me off, which was kind of upsetting. Like, I at least want text. But you know what? It's fine. I said some mean things just now about Victoria Vivians. God bless Victoria Vivians. I hope you do incredible if you're watching this. I hope the Indiana Fever do great. And next, still can't believe I just talked about that. Next up, we got the Lakers. Whoa. Not only have the Lakers been playing awful, but Anthony Davis has been doing incredible. I mean, obviously, he's been doing good. But the rest of the team, I loved how this one guy explained it. There's a lot of odd fitting parts, like mixed up fitting parts that don't work. Now, when I say that, I mean, like, how Jared Dudley's on the bench and he has to hype you up. I'm kidding. It's not the biggest deal. But also, LeBron has not been playing good whatsoever. And it's not worked out for the Lakers, to say the least. I believe they're 1-3. They just or 1-2 at this point. They just lost to the Thunder last night at the time of recording, which is like, well, like, I love the Thunder. Trust me, the Thunder have been shocking everyone, and I said they were going to be a dark horse team this year with Chris Paul, but you know, I wouldn't be that surprised if the Blazers came in and swept them round one. But also, I think they're giving it a new approach. They were pedal to the metal all across the board, but now I do think that they're going to be, because they said LeBron got injured, sore right groin. That could be true. Could be fake. I mean, they already clinched the first seed. They could literally put in their bench squad the rest of it, and I think that, I honestly think that's the move for the Lakers. That's so smart to just put in your bench squad, because first of all, you can find out who's a really good bright spot on that team. You can find out if Kostas Antetokounmpo is the next Giannis. Like, put in your bench squad. It's just, like, play Anthony Davis like 5 minutes a game. I don't care, because I do love seeing Anthony Davis. But a lot of people were questionable. Put Jared Dudley in at point guard. Actually don't. There's better people you can put in at point guard. But still, like that, I can't think of his name, but he was on the Warriors. I remember him. I feel really bad that I can't remember his name, but still, put in your bench squad, LA. Don't play LeBron a single other game. Honestly, it only helps the rest of the league, which, like, or doesn't, because obviously if you lose to the Lakers bench squad, you shouldn't have been in the bubble regardless, but the Pelicans probably would have anyway, because the Pelicans are god-awful so far. Speaking of the Pelicans, Zion, I don't know if you're injured or just fat. Please figure it out. I wanted to watch you win a championship. Next up, we got the NFL opt-outs. This is a crazy one. A lot of the league is opting out. They had till today to opt out, but Tre'Davious White was one to say that he thought that was unfair, and he thinks that they should have more time to opt out, which I agree with. And he said a really good quote that was, I'll kind of synthesize it for you. Basically, NFL fans are saying that he should put his health and his family's health in jeopardy just for a game, and it's not. And there's a lot of things that are bigger than football. I'll agree with him on that. And the fans have been a little bit selfish, to say the least. I'm fine. I mean, I'm a Patriots fan. Literally, the entire team has opted out. Not literally, but a lot of them have opted out, and it's not going to be a nice season to watch. I mean, the Patriots will figure it out, but I'm not even upset. Like, I get it. We're in a worldwide pandemic. Like, it makes sense. But I think the NFL is really harsh for giving them till Thursday, today, because that was just silly. It was, that's the best way to put it. That was just silly. Like, I still can't believe they're giving people time to decide what they want to do with their life. I mean, like, it's not like an optional thing, COVID. It's a thing that hits everyone. And we've been locked in our houses for 3 to 4 months now because of it. Like, I don't get I get it. The NFL, you need to make your money. You'll still make your money because everyone is just dying for some sports. The NBA bubble isn't going to be around for too much longer. The MLB season, I mean, that's already, like, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that whole mess. But the NFL, you guys need to just let players opt out. You need to let people put stuff on the back of their jerseys if they want. You need to be fully supportive in this time. It's a tough time for the entire planet. There's not too many times I can say that where the entire planet has had a tough time. Next up, we have The Rock buys the XFL for $15 million. I made a video on it, and it almost got 200 views, so I'm kind of happy about it. But The Rock, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, dude, like, I was a WWE fan when I was little, and I loved The Rock, and now he's, like, a businessman. Like, this was such a baller's move. And, it's just silly to think, like, Vince McMahon's league, and then The Rock was just like, oh, yeah, I'll buy it. Like, I don't know if it was, like, a shot at Vince or anything like that, but still, The Rock, and I think another person who was a woman bought it, and I think she's the first ever, like, owner like that, which is awesome for her, awesome for women, you know, but also awesome for The Rock. Like, The Rock really deserved this, you know, the people's elbow, people's champ, everything. Every single mantra you can say about The Rock, I am so happy that he bought the XFL. I'm so happy the XFL was bought because, as you know, if you watch my videos, I love the XFL. I used to break them down every single week, like player of the week, play of the week, team of the week, game to watch. That was a lot of fun to do, and it actually pulled views. I love the XFL. Really hope it returns. I don't think they're opting to play a 2021 season. They may be. Who knows? But hopefully they are, because I miss the XFL, and it really helped a lot of people. Like Jordan Teamu, he's on the Chiefs, I believe. I also know PJ Washington, and I think that's his name. It's been so long since I watched the XFL, it's nuts that I can't remember their names. But I was like the biggest fan. You know, I miss the XFL. The XFL misses us. I mean, it's almost like it's like saying John Cena bought the AAF. Like, it just doesn't add up. It just is funny. But you know, we got a crazy hypothetical involving John Cena. That's kind of why I brought John Cena up. This is a weekly segment where we do exactly what I said, a crazy hypothetical. Now, this week's crazy hypothetical is John Cena. I'm sorry. In a game to 21 on an 8-foot rim in basketball versus Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps, who does not have an intro song to my knowledge, who would win? A game to 21 on an 8-foot rim. That's just, like, this is the funniest hypothetical I've found and came up with. Because, I mean, John Cena, he was a thug life, this is basic thugonomics. So I'd assume he can play basketball. But also, Mike Phelps is a gold medalist. But also, John Cena was a 16-time WWE champion. Like, there's so much to take in account here. But to be honest, I gotta go with Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, you're an Olympic swimmer. I would assume Michael Phelps is taller. That might be a dumb assumption, but I think he is. Also, I could totally see, like, some windmill dunks out of Phelps on an 8-foot rim. And John Cena. I mean, I can dunk on an 8-foot rim. That's a lie, but still. My vert is actually really sad. But, you know, that was this week's Crazy Hypothetical. Followed by the Crazy Hypothetical, we got the weekly shout-out. This episode's weekly shout-out goes out to Jamal 2K. He was the first one to respond to my Discord for the shout-out. You guys gotta go check out my Discord so you can be a part of the weekly shout-out competitions. And that was the weekly shout-out. So back into the news, sort of. The MLB's pandemic. Whoa. This is bad. This is how bad it is. Last week it was the Marlins pandemic. Now it's a league-wide pandemic. Not league-wide, but more teams are contracting the virus that shall not be named because YouTube doesn't let you say it anymore, which is just downright silly. But still, like, it's nuts that they failed the bubble this bad. Like in the grand scheme of things, it was a pitch-perfect plan. There was going to be, like, people contracting it, but not an entire team. An entire team should... I mean, obviously, if one player gets it, it's most likely going to go around. But, guys, this has been nuts. This could end their season, which would suck. I mean, every other team has mastered it. The NHL, doing great. The WWE, they're even doing good. The NFL, they're not doing a bubble. I don't even want to know how that's going to go. The NBA has not had a test since, I believe, July 29th. They came back positive. And that's including Lou Williams. That was a shot. But, guys, this could end the MLB's entire season. This sucks. So that means the Red Sox don't have to actually... No one will know the Red Sox suck so bad this year. So, that's fine with me. Next up, we got the Washington Wizards. Whoa. Yankee with no brim. I just think it's so funny they're in the 10th seed, and a team that was not invited a team that was eliminated from playoff contention. They said, it is impossible for you to make the playoffs. You go 8-0. It's impossible for you to make it. And the Wizards are below them. It's the funniest thing in the world. I don't care what you say. It's hilarious. Like, how are you so bad? Like, I get it. The Wizards shouldn't have even been invited to the bubble in the first place. But they're below the Charlotte Hornets by, like, 0.001%. But still, I mean, they could even get below Washington soon if they really choke hard enough. That's neither here or there. We all knew the Wizards weren't going to make it. But, that's fine. I mean, the Wizards weren't going to make it regardless. They're just getting a better draft pick. I mean, Roy Hachimura has only been great in the restart. So, I love Roy, my Gonzaga boy. But, yeah, the Wizards are awful. It's not funny. Like, it's bad. But also, a team that's awful, the New York Nets. I was about to say New Jersey Nets, actually, but the Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie, KD, DeAndre Jordan, basically all of their team. Jamal Crawford now is injured. They shouldn't have been invited to the bubble. Like, to be honest, I would rather see Charlotte play with Scary Terry. They're going to get 7th or 8th seed, which is sad, but they're going to get swept. Like, there's no way they're winning a game. They got obliterated by the Celtics. Absolutely, positively, without a doubt, smashed in the mouth. The Celtics scored 149 points, and that was with mostly their bench squad and Gordon Hayward the entire game. I don't know why they kept him in. It was kind of weird. But the Nets are just awful, and I'm happy to see it because I made a video called Why I Hate Kyrie Irving. I don't hate him, by the way. I preface that. But, and I made an entire video about it. I think next year they'll be good, though, unless Kyrie and KD fall apart. KD doesn't want to play for the Nets. Kyrie doesn't want to play for the Nets, which he did with the Celtics. DeAndre Center gets why do I keep calling him that? DeAndre Jordan gets, traded or something. I mean, I loved watching Jamal come back, but Jamal got injured. I was really rooting for Jamal. I love Jamal, so I'd love to see him outperform everyone. Obviously, his injury. I think this is Isaiah Thomas' time to shine. Play in these couple BS games that mean probably nothing for the Nets. Play in the playoffs. Don't win. But it could, imagine he drops a 40-point game. Even a 20-point game would help Isaiah so much because there's a chance he could have to retire because he's not getting on a team. The McGregor comeback. This is a nut story on all sides of the thing. Conor McGregor retired early in the year, and we all, obviously love to see it. But then, out of nowhere, he basically said, I accept. Now, someone challenged him to a fight in the UFC. Manny Pacquiao challenged him to a fight in boxing. No one knows what he's accepting exactly. But Dana White said he's not fighting for the rest of 2020. For the year 2020, he's retired. That's fair. But if it is a boxing match versus Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor, don't do it. No, I'm kidding. I actually kind of want to see it. Or I'd even watch him fight Floyd again. I think he could have beaten Floyd if he didn't gas out. Because he was winning on points at that point. He was dominating Floyd. But still, Manny Pacquiao versus Conor would be an incredible fight, in my opinion. But I think Manny Pacquiao would run away with it. Honestly, he's a boxer, obviously. But the McGregor comeback in the UFC, it's weird that he just keeps retiring. I don't get it. If you're going to retire, stay away from the sport. That's always been my thing. I said that about Gronk. I said I was happy he retired a Patriot. Yeah. I said that about a lot of people, actually. I'm trying to think of other people. But, Brett Favre did this, and everyone was like, ugh, don't do that. But still, Conor McGregor come back. Hope he comes back, honestly. The Suns streak. These Suns are the only undefeated team in the West. Not at this point, because it's impossible if they're the only ones. They also have the best record in the West so far, obviously. 4-0. Devin Booker game winner on Paul George. That is Paul George's type. He just does not contest game-winning shots very well. Devin, some people are saying it was a travel, and, low-key was, but still, incredible. INCRED-able. I love watching the Suns, and they're not my dark horse team, but I don't see them getting 8th seed because they'd have to basically win out, or 9th seed. I could see them getting 9th seed, honestly, because the rest of the West sucks. Pelicans probably not making playoffs. Spurs, it'd be surprising, but like I could see it because Greg Popovich is the GOAT. Who's the other team there? The Grizzlies were the 8th seed, but now the Trailblazers are the 8th seed. So, I mean, it's an entire fight. Sacramento Kings, they're not doing anything. But it's an entire fight in the West. I'd love to see the Suns break out of the West, though. And last but not least, for our last topic of the show, Uconn will not be playing football. This is a shocker. This is how bad the virus is getting. I mean, I agree with it. Whoa. Okay. So sorry. So sorry to interrupt. But just now, 10:37 p.m. Eastern Time, Damian Lillard has scored 45 points with 11 three-pointers, with career high tying 11 threes in a win over the Nuggets. Whoa. Sorry, this is the Shaney Show. It's very nuts. But back to the Uconn thing. Uconn not playing football this year. I don't want to dwell into it too much. I mean, I don't watch too much college football. But I think it's a good move, honestly. I think it's going to set. I think a lot more teams are going to do it. But that is all for the episode, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you thought about any of the topics, and I'll love it. Check out my Instagram, Twitter, all in my bio. Check out Jamal 2K. Check out Warmer Banter. We need the support. Tomorrow goes out an episode of Sports Free Saturday, so you guys can see that. But that's all, guys. Love you guys. Peace out. Boop, 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 boop.